y'all, Josh and Isi here once again.
And today we are back with another Eat and Chill.
Today's topic is...
You know, why social media is ruining relationships.
Why social media?
From our point of view. Obviously, we don't have hardcore facts, but...
And obviously our relationship isn't being ruined by social media.
But by observing what our generation's relationships are going through and stuff. But before we hop into this video, let's show you guys our food and pray. Remember to pray this time.
We're going to pray this time.
Okay. We're going the healthy route.
We're going the healthy route. So I got bananas and little mini oranges. I think they're what, clementine?
I think they are called, or cuties. People know them as cuties.
Whatever you want.
And then I made myself strawberries and grapes. Ooh, that looks real good.
It looks good. I'm gonna eat some of hers too. So we're just gonna eat and chill all of this.
We didn't discuss that on or off camera.
I love
you. Got me messed up. Pray.
Pray. Okay. Lord, bless this fruit that we're about to receive for the nourishment of our bodies. We thank you for the people watching. We thank you for their love and support. And we thank you for this relationship. These and other blessings we ask in your name. Amen.
Amen. Oh, sorry, by the way, that we've been gone for a minute.
Man. Okay.
I'm not even going to give an excuse. We're just sorry.
Yeah.
Just sorry.
Just sorry.
That's it. Because we always, try to butter it. We're going to... Yeah, that's it. We're sorry. Let's go. Let's start the topic.
Okay, so to start, I think that social media hinders relationships because social media doesn't give you a full scope of any situation.
I like the way you started that.
I don't think social media gives you a realistic scope of anything in anybody's life, because on social media people are always trying to put their best foot forward.
Yeah, their best versions of their life is what people put on social media.
Yeah, rarely do you find situations where people will express what's truly going on in their lives, and I don't blame them. It's personal. Like, no one wants to put their entire life on blast, so you can't expect someone to put all their transgressions, all their problems, and all their issues.
I don't think it's an expectation, though. I think that people, influencers in particular, can do a little bit better with not having to put their stuff on blast, but being real. Like, I feel like what we do on this channel is real. Yeah.
We have real conversations with real problems, and we try to come up with real solutions.
We haven't blasted our business, though. You know what I mean?
That's very true.
I feel like there's a balance to it.
We haven't totally
that people could do better.
Very true.
So that things aren't so disrupted in people's minds of what a relationship should be or look like, or...
Yeah. Because I think what people are expecting when they get into a relationship is for it to look like some of these social media influencers' relationships that are very materialistic, I want to say.
Extremely materialistic.
That's
what it all kind of comes from.
And I don't think y'all should fall victim to seeing love and materialism go hand in hand, because there's so much more levels to that.
Yes.
Because if I'm being honest, that's a real moment, I ain't rich and I can't give her a lot, but there's a lot of stuff outside of money that I bring to a relationship, and there's a lot of stuff outside of money that she brings to a relationship
that you can't show in a picture alone.
You can't take a picture of the kind of values that we bring to a relationship. It takes videos, I guess, like this to where we actually have to express what we're going through, how we've helped each other through rough times, for us to actually express like the true meaning of a good relationship. And I don't think a lot of relationships last because they're building their values based upon materialism. And once that fades,
what is left?
What's left?
You know who that just sounded like when we watched... Hold on. I don't know if any of you guys have been watching Jada Pinkett Smith Red Table Talk. She's been doing it for a minute now, but Will Smith was just on her 2 most recent ones at the new season. And I watched it with Josh, and it was interesting because in part 1 or part 2 or maybe both, they were kind of discussing their marital issues that they experienced and stuff, and one of the big ones was that, like, Will... how how would you explain it? He was materialistic.
Yeah.
In the sense where, like, Jada one day asked him, like, if we didn't have this big house and we didn't have all this money and fame, take all that away from us, what is our relationship? What do we have? Or she was like, if we were on an island and we had none of that or whatever, blah, blah, what is left between us? And he was like, we'd be on an island. Whereas she's like, where's the communication? Where's the love? Where's all that, the support and stuff? And, I feel like that was just a good example that sometimes people get really caught up in making sure everything externally looks great in their relationship and in their life when internally things are broken. So that's a good example. I just thought of that when you said that.
Social media needs more, I hate to sound cocky, but it needs more people like us. I
don't think it's cocky.
I don't want to sound like we're being conceited, but I think that social media needs more influencers to be real and talk about their problems, so that way it helps other people work through their problems.
Real life problems that you're gonna go through.
Yeah, especially in relationships, because like no one really harps on the fact that communication can make or break you. Like, I've never seen a social media couple that's like extremely successful, I guess, sit down and have those talks
with their following.
Yeah.
And that's something that kind of frustrates me, because I wouldn't say it frustrates me, but something I just know I would do differently if I was in those people's positions or whatever. And I know I used to think about that on my individual channel and platforms, like, oh, look at these big YouTubers with hundreds of thousands of subscribers and Instagram followers. I'm like, why aren't they doing more? Why aren't they genuinely trying to help changes and impacts positively in our generation and stuff? Because I know that's just what I would do if I was in that place. And now that I am, it's a good feeling to know that I'm like trying to be impactful in that way. Like, I started doing this, I know I'm swaying real quick, y'all, but I started doing this Free Yourself Friday thing on my Instagram now, where it shows like a real raw, transparent side of me, where an example might be like, I have one bomb picture, but for the Free Yourself Friday post, it'll show like my camera roll thread of maybe like 100 or 200 or 300 pictures it took just to get that one. So it's like a free yourself type of thing, especially for an influencer. I feel like a lot of people hold us to these high standards and think everything is perfect. Like, that one shot took 1 second to take and then kept it pushing, or that video, or, you know, just a whole bunch of stuff. It makes it seem so fantasy. Like you said, Instagram curtains, pull back the Instagram curtains. Glamour. Instagram glamour. Josh had worded it real nice. When I was trying to come up with a definition of what I was trying to establish as Free Yourself Friday, he was like, it's basically pulling back the Instagram glamour curtains and showing that real raw what it took to even accomplish this, or blah blah. So, saying all that to say, it's a good feeling for me, I know personally. I feel like for you too, that now that our following is starting to build and grow and stuff like that, we're actually using our platforms for everything we wanted to use them for in the first place, when we used to like compare ourselves to other people or see other people with a big following. Now we're kind of starting to develop that. By the way, thank you for all the new subscribers. I don't know if we touched on that, but we be looking at our account. And like, we'll go without looking at it for a fat minute, and then I'll be like, babe, do you see this number? Like, we're growing, so we really appreciate that.
We normally don't pay attention to subscribers on this channel.
Yeah, we don't,
because it's more so like the people that need to see it will see it.
Yeah, it's not a forceful thing anymore.
Yeah.
That's why we actually, I don't know if we ever touched on it with them, why we fell off from our YouTube channel for a long time. But if y'all like look back, especially for you new ones, you'll see we did like hella challenges and hella well, we didn't do hella pranks. We did some pranks. We did hella challenges. We did the typical YouTube couple videos. And what we ended up realizing is that was bringing us more
stress than anything.
Stress and strain on our personal relationship when that camera was off. And I guess we can kind of speak from that point of view of why we think social media can kind of ruin relationships, because not only is it your significant other, it's also like a business relationship type of thing if you let it get to that point. If y'all aren't really doing it for fun or for the hell of it and stuff, and you're letting social media run your life and relationship, essentially, it can fall apart. If you guys aren't on the same page about stuff, I know like we would argue over stupid stuff. Like, I'm like, why don't you want to edit? Or we didn't agree on challenges and stuff like that.
We would literally sit in front of the camera and then film a whole thing, look at it, and be like, we didn't
look like we liked each other. Right.
It was terrible.
We were going through that.
And so that's why we took that big long break.
To refocus our relationship and realize what's important. And social media was not important like that. Making money was not important like that. And I can see how, especially like the bigger couples, when you're making that much money, I feel like you lose focus, honestly. If you guys don't have good communication, you lose focus on why you started the channel in the first place. Was to show off how much you guys love each other and how good your relationship is. But when you bringing in all that money, y'all are all about business. And mixing business with pleasure can be, or business with personal, can be very, sometimes.
It definitely gets iffy.
Which is why when we do these eating chills, and like I said, we're not going to give you guys excuses anymore. Like, our relationship comes first no matter what.
No matter what.
So when we feel like filming, that's what we do. It's not like let's do this today, let's do it, because then it takes the fun out of it. It takes the joy out of it. It takes the authenticity, I think, from our relationship and translate it to you guys. And I feel like people can tell when stuff is fake.
And when you start trying to like, if we start trying to force ourselves to get out information that we would inevitably end up giving you just some stuff that we came up with off the top of our head instead of it being like genuine. We have actual talks about these topics beforehand. Right. And through those conversations that we have, we come to y'all with these videos. It's not like every week we're like, we need another video, another video, another video. It's not a business type thing at all. And we tried that though. We tried it. And it did not feel good. It didn't feel good at all. It felt like work. It felt like strain. And then we actually started like despising it. And then I think we low-key almost started getting mad at each other too. We did. Yeah, it was bad. She would get under my skin about filming. There'd be days I'd be like, I don't feel like filming today. But then we were like, we're holding ourselves to the standard of we're going to film this, that, and the third. Then I didn't like the pranks. God, because I could just see. We didn't really do anything. We didn't do anything. We caught that early. We peeped what it could do, what damage it could do. Because there was some times where I was just like, I felt very vulnerable. Because like sometimes it actually got me, and I was like, I don't like that feeling. I didn't like it, and I didn't like being put on blast on camera either. That I was being caught vulnerable. Who put you on? What do you mean? When we like made those films and like when you got me with pranks. Some of those times I did Spider and the Can't Kiss and the graduation, not graduating. Yeah, but there was other times where you had pranks, we just didn't even post them. Oh, okay, I remember. There was one prank I tried to do on him where it was my ex-boyfriend leaked my nudes or something. Some outrageous thing that other couples, YouTube couples, would probably do and like it would go viral. I thought of like ideas like that, which is toxic, and I'm glad that the prank, it worked, but it didn't, the camera was blurry or something. God was working for our relationship and in our favor because there was a reason he did not want that video to work. So yeah, like like the topics that you hear of what these couples prank each other with and stuff is pretty crazy. Oh, by the way, I never had any nudes. So nobody can blast me. But anyway, the things that people put out there just for views and money and stuff is toxic. Like these pranks, if you really think deep down on it, I got another girl pregnant. Another boy FaceTimed my phone. What's some other crazy ones? The baby isn't yours. That kind of stuff. You don't do that type of stuff. Like, you gotta think from a real life in perspective type of situation. Like, if she came to me and said something like, I'd be heartbroken. And then to top it all off, you put it on camera. Then you showed the world how vulnerable I was in that situation. There's a lack of trust. Yeah. It starts developing. It's not good. It's not conducive to positivity at all. And then, if something does happen, then you start questioning whether or not it's real. You just don't know. Yeah. You know? So therefore, trust is gone. Trust withers. I think another thing is there's not a lot of, I guess, successful couples of color. I don't. There are some. Okay, don't get me wrong. We don't know all of them though. We don't know all of them. To be honest. To be honest, yeah, we don't know all of them. But I guess in the limelight sense, there's a lot of drama that takes place with couples. Okay. So like famous couples usually go through a lot of drama. He said, she said, he did this, she said that. And people who used to idolize them are now mimicking their behavior. which sucks. Because they're mimicking the wrong people. Whereas if they would find maybe not the biggest YouTubers in the world, but some smaller ones with like couples that are like us. I'm sure we're not the only couples of our kind.
That just be real and genuine.
That just be real and genuine. I would hope that kids would look up to successful couples, even like Jay-Z and Beyonce. But even with that relationship, there was still some relationship issues.
But at least they were big enough to come out and be real. Like,
that's what I appreciate.
Stuff ain't cute and peachy hasn't always been great.
They were real about their entire situation, which is why I can respect it. I just wish a lot more people would be real about their situation, so that way they can get a better perspective as to what a relationship really looks like.
And people wouldn't give up so fast, though.
Man.
That's why divorce rate is so high. Things are so, like, instant gratification in this generation, and, like, people don't know how to fight for relationships anymore.
Yeah.
You know? I don't feel like communication is stressed enough.
I don't think so.
Through social media or anything, and maybe that's why people don't know how to fight for it, because they don't know how to communicate with each other. They don't know how to make it past this point that they've never seen before.
And I think another thing that social media does to kind of ruin relationships, it kind of just puts temptation across your face consistently.
That's a good one, babe.
It puts a lot of temptation across your face consistently over and over. It got to the point, I told her I stopped following females. Like, I literally went down the list. It was like
except your sister and my best friends.
Except for, like, her best friends and my sister. And my mama. But, like, I was just going on a unfollow spree because I just don't want, like... I think I caught on early that social media can brainwash you, and if you consistently put those things in front of your face over and over and over, it'll start to wear at you. So just kind of taking a step back and like monitoring what I put in my subconscious, or monitoring like what kind of information I'm taking in. That's like why you should watch what you listen to, watch what you put in front of your face, watch what you follow. You should definitely be conscious of all those things because they do have influence and they do have an effect on you. So
you just brought up another good thing too, about watching what you listen to and stuff. And when you said that, I instantly thought of the music that's out here in our generation now, what these rappers are praising and what we're seeing in these music videos and stuff. And God forbid, like, not even God forbid, because unfortunately it's a reality for a lot of young men, especially black men. They're not really growing up with a father. So these rappers or athletes or whatever are...
They're
like role models and examples of a man. And, you know, a lot of boys tend to like look up to their father figures and want to be them and stuff. And if those are their role models and they have threesomes and they're praising fake boobs and fake butts and just, y'all know, y'all see it too. I know y'all see it. Then that's what's translating in their minds. It's okay, that's what I need to go for. You don't see these rappers praising one woman and one woman only, singing or rapping about staying faithful to one woman. Unfortunately, and those that do, they're not mainstream and they're not big. So it's like, our generation, our poor generation. It's so sad when you think deep on it. It's so unfortunate because it's not just, when we say social media is ruining relationships, we're not just talking about YouTube or Instagram. It's like media all of it is media. Like,
media in general is not conducive to positive happy relationships. Sadly enough. And it's like, I don't know why, it's like a trend or a popular to be an ain't shit nigga.
I just told you why.
It makes no sense. And it's sad because women aren't valued in the equation.
Not at all.
And women make up majority of the population of the earth.
But the sad thing also is there are some women who kind of make it hard for the rest of us because they'll accept
they buy into it.
And the freaking Love and Hip Hop nigga, Akbar, messing with Tiara and having a wife and then having the other. We be watching Love and Hip Hop. It's not a guilty pleasure, unfortunately. But even that is nuts. And it's sad because I tell Josh all the time, I'm like, think about this though, babe. We're like laughing at this stuff, blah, blah, but when those cameras go off, those are still those people's real life situations. They're real life in that thing. So it's like, that man really thinks like that. Like he, when Tiara first confronted him about pretending like she didn't know about the 2 women for the camera. But anyway, when she first confronted him about it, he was like, I invest in women. There's niggas who are gonna see that, especially young boys, and be like, oh,
that's what we doing.
Yeah. And think it's like cool. And
women
it's just
are
a mess. It's a mess.
To say a woman is an investment is to place her as like an item.
Yes. They think we're products.
It's almost as bad as slavery, damn near. Niggas thinking that you're products.
And that's what I'm saying too, though. These women, there's some women out there that make it hard for the rest of us who are trying to have a healthy, successful relationship, because women like that are accepting for him to have this side chick, that side chick, and another side. And like, I think it's so sad too that
women are settling.
Oh, for sure. Women are settling, and therefore men are able to act that way. Mm-hmm. But also, I think it's so sad that I notice a lot, especially in social media, where it's like this girl, she's the main chick, and she's fine with being the main chick as long as the side chick knows she's the main chick. It shouldn't even be no main inside. You know what I'm...
Yeah. I definitely get
You know what I mean? That's insane. Oh, well, as long as you know you the side chick hoe, like...
As long as you know you're number 2.
You should be the only one.
I didn't know when or how relationships turned into a status thing. Now there's levels.
It really is.
Yeah, I just don't know when that happened.
Oh, girl in Love and Hip Hop said, you're number 2. Be quiet.
And I don't know what's more concerning. The fact that they're influencing other people to think that way, or the fact that they're really okay with that lifestyle.
It's just a hot mess. And that's why I can't even say it's all on the men, because, like, us women gotta do better with respecting each other's boundaries or territories. You know, like, there shouldn't be a side chick. Even if a man has a dog mentality, there shouldn't even be an option for a side chick, because I feel like us women should have enough respect for each other. Like, okay, no, he's taken, let me not even try that. People don't have that respect for each other anymore. Women don't have that respect for each other anymore. That's why it's so disappointing. I would never do that to somebody.
Yeah, I would never put you in a position like that.
I know. I know. Because 1, I wouldn't accept it, and 2, I've just always held that level of respect for myself where you know not to try something like that.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm like, we just overall got to do better. Us influencers who have a voice got to do better. Celebrities got to do better. Parents need to do better.
As a whole.
We got to do better.
As a people of human race, we just got to hold ourselves to higher standards.
Mm-hmm. And that's why I think back in college, I think I had this talk with you where, like, your boys would be doing some wild stuff, and I'm like, and like he would like laugh about it, or like boys just shrug stuff off. Whereas I feel like if my girls are like acting up and stuff, I'm kind of checking them like, you need to get it together. And I think I had that talk with you about, like, why do you laugh at that type of stuff? Like, I feel like when you kind of laugh about a dude playing multiple girls or whatever, you're enabling him. You're literally enabling your friends to think that that type of behavior is acceptable. And even if you cannot control them, because that was your argument at the time, like, I can't control what they do, that's fine. You can never control somebody, but you making that stance like, that's not cool to me, is still a step in the right direction, I feel like, with showing... Like, being basically a lead by example. Even if they don't follow, it's just like you're establishing, I'm not for that. That's not cool.
A matter of drawing that line in the sand.
Yeah.
I draw the line and make sure that, like, if you cross it, I can still be a friend, but I can tell you, like, hey, that's...
Or you might have to love them from a distance because you don't want that rubbing off on you.
Yeah.
It's all about holding your friends, your people accountable. Yourself accountable. And I don't feel like enough people do that for each other. And I do feel like sometimes you have these situations where it's a really good guy with a friend group who's full of ain't shit niggas, like you said. Mm-hmm. And it's hard to believe he's a good guy because that's his, like, crowd. And therefore it's like, okay, so if you're hanging out with them heavy, then you have to have something in common with them.
They have to influence you at some point.
I don't know if we touched on it heavy. Something else, though, I feel like that can ruin, or that has been ruining relationships, is comparing. Comparison. Comparing is the death and devil of everything.
It's the number one way to lose confidence in yourself
individually and in your
And in a
relationship, I feel
relationship.
like.
The second you start comparing your situation to somebody else's, it's over with.
And I did that with simple stuff, not even social media. It was freaking movies. I'm a hopeless romantic, so I know, especially in the beginning, I used to compare, like, he came at... That's why that gun situation kind of happened with you. I know we've talked about it with them before. Where, like, I ended up leaving him. I walked out the house, and he didn't come, like, an hour later. And I told him to, like, sleep by yourself. And all that, I'm not blaming that strictly on, like, the movies, but I know in my mind, in the movies, the guy comes after the girl. Like, he chases her out the door and grabs her in the rain, and it's like, no, baby, I love you. And that's what I, like, imagined in my mind was supposed to happen that night.
Meanwhile, I was drinking myself into depression.
Shut up, Josh. See? That's that stuff.
That's real. That's keeping it a buck with
You
them.
didn't drink.
Yeah, I did. The second you left, I was mad.
I'm sorry, baby.
I was mad and scared.
I'm sorry. But yeah, I'm just trying to say all of that to say that's an example of just not letting things get to you and not comparing something that you see that you like to your real life relationship, because like I said, when that camera goes off or when the video ends, you don't know what's really happening. You're seeing the best moments, or like Josh said, you're seeing the best moments of these people's lives. And I see these real head-ass pictures. I feel like in high school, if I saw them, I'd be like, oh, I want that. But I see, like, on Valentine's Day, people go crazy with these pictures. And, like, the guy is handing her 50 red roses with
teddy
all
bear that'll
these...
fill up literally half of their room.
Yeah, with all these Gucci and Prada and bags surrounding her. And when you see that and you're young and you don't really have to understand the concept of what real love is, you're gonna be like, oh, so I need that stuff. That's how I know a person loves me, or that's how I know
If he
that's
gets
the
me
right
roses,
relationship
a
for
teddy
me.
bear, chocolates, and all
Yeah.
that, he loves me. And then a guy saying to himself, I love her if I give her all this stuff. And that's the only thing that she should need from me. If I give you stuff, you should give me love.
Right.
It's like a quid pro quo equation, and it's just screwing up relationships. It's just screwing people.
Did you just buck at the camera?
Screwing people over.
It is, though. Our kids, we gotta do good by our kids, man.
We will. But that is all we have. We
Could
love you
have
guys.
more.
We have more, and that's why I'm looking at the time. We definitely could go for about another hour.
It's okay. If they want a part 2, then we'll do it.
Yeah, but we appreciate you guys. Once again, we love y'all. All the new subscribers, thank you so
guys.
much.
Welcome.
Thank you. Welcome to G Squad. Is that it?
Just
G
welcome.
Gang. Just welcome. Just welcome. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Turn on that little bell so that way you know when we post new videos.
And when we say share, it's not just about sharing on your social media. Also, literally share with your friends. I love when I see like somebody say, "I showed you guys to my mom, and now she watches y'all," and stuff like that. I think that's so dope.
I think, yeah. When I say share, I would just say you don't even have to share us.
Watch us
Love
at
it.
your lunchroom table with your friends. Y'all know y'all be on your
We would
phones.
love for y'all to share us, but I would much so rather you just at least share some enlightenment with somebody. Like take
Even
what
if
we
it stems a conversation
even
between
if
your
it
friends and
starts a
stuff.
Conversation.
Yeah, that is the goal. You're right.
I
At the
really
end of
just
the day.
want y'all to benefit as much as possible. And I'm sure she feels the same way. What we do is fun, but it's more so to help you guys. So we hope it helps. We love you. We appreciate you. We will see y'all maybe next week.
Hopefully.
Hopefully.
Probably.
Prayerfully.
We're gonna do it.
Okay.
3, 2, 1. Peace, love, hair grease.